Today is Wednesday, July 27th, 2016, and I have no idea what I'm going to talk about. So, first off, I went to go try to record little blurbs here and there for the last 2 hours, and between background noise and dogs and people and whatnot, I just said fuck it. And I didn't even know if I was actually going to do a blog today. I recorded the intro to this, honestly, about 3 hours ago. I was just inside of my apartment and was watching an episode of I don't know if it's a Netflix series or just a television series in general. I didn't read the full synopsis, sue me, of a TV show called Salem. Watched the very first episode, and for those of you that don't know, it's about the town called Salem during the witch trials. It's a drama, not a documentary. What kind of show can I compare it to? Honestly, I don't know what kind of show I can compare it to. It's a good show, don't get me wrong, but I will not personally be watching it ever again. But Tim, if it's a good show, why aren't you not going to watch it ever again? It's a good show, you should watch it. Shut up. I'm personally not going to watch it ever again because it casts a very bad light on witches. Most first episodes of the series make you... I just took a shower, that's why I'm all wet, by the way. This isn't because it's fucking 95 billion degrees outside, but it is actually 95 billion degrees outside. It's hot outside, but I wanted a cigarette. So, the very first episode of most television shows either capture your attention or they kind of lose it and trail off. They either go way too much into the storyline of a particular character, or they try to give you a little bit of every character that's the main character, and then give you more an idea of what the show is going to be about. Now, this particular show gives you a broad spectrum so that you can see what the show is going to be about. It casts a light on the idea of witchcraft as if it is complete demon, demonic summoning. You are the devil, everything is evil. If you know, and mind you, it does also cast a horrible light on the Catholic Church. It makes the Catholic Church, or at least that of back in the day, seem very atrocious, because one of the very opening scenes is two young people in the stocks, a man and a woman, and the man is being accused of a sin, of being a fornicator, of, basically being a teenager. Is based, back in the 1800s. However, if this were done modern day, every teenager that I've ever known would have this huge letter F branded on their forehead if it were up to them in that day law, or at least the law of that particular church. Watched this series, or at least this first episode, and I like that it both cast a horrible light on the Catholic Church. However, it also casted a horrible light, extremely horrible light, on the idea of witchcraft as a whole. Everything that is done. Now, it makes you truly believe that magic is real, and I like that concept. There's some very good special effects, some very good back and forth jump scare kind of things. It's not necessarily a horror, it's more drama series. It does have some horror aspects to it, so I would advise not to let little kids watch it, but it's definitely for the adult. There is some sex, there is some drinking, and there is some just general badness, if you would. But all of those things are revolving around the idea of witchcraft. That brings to mind something that I came across earlier this week, actually. I was going through Facebook groups, or not necessarily Facebook groups, more so just random Facebook posts that other people have made and invited me to, or shared with me, or blah blah blah. And there is now I was a avid goer of a store that was over near Big Lots on 40 years and years ago called Black Dragon. This store was an apothecary. It carried incense, essential oils, tapestries, fairy stuff, some eclectic stuff, a lot of occult stuff. However, it also catered to everyone. So if you wanted to come in there and buy incense, if you wanted to come in there and buy, blankets, they had blankets. If you wanted to come in there and buy drums, if you wanted to buy a dragon figurine, they had a little bit of things for everybody. Now, this store went under because the economy tanked, which is not uncommon because if you do not have like a huge backing of people to buy your stock, then as a self-owned store or whatever, things tend to go under. You can't help that. So this store went under. Since then, there were several other stores of the same token that have either propped up in the Ocala area or have since gone under as well. One of them being Soul Essentials. Soul Essentials used to be a building off of Fort King, right across the street from the Seven Sisters Inn in downtown Ocala. Now, since this store has burned to the ground and is closed due to a very unforeseen accident, thankfully no one was hurt or injured in said fire. That is not the point I'm trying to get to. The point I'm trying to get to is there was another store that I was pointed out on Facebook called the Lord's Shoppy or Lord's Academy or something to that effect. Now, this particular store I have not been to. I have not seen in person. I do not know the people. It could be something entirely different from what I'm thinking. However, in several Facebook posts that this page has made, it has said, "Hey," whoever's created this page has said, "Hey, a lot of my friends, a lot of people have made mention that they want to get together, they want to be involved, they want to make the occult community in the area a little bit more grandiose. We want to start a group, possibly a coven of sorts, but for the time being we want to make a Facebook group, and I want that way we can all be on the same page." So, in the comments of said post, I asked, "Well, what is the link for the Facebook group? I do not have means of a car, so I cannot visit your shop. I would like to join the Facebook group because I'm curious." I've known many people in the occult. I've known many people that have dealt in the arts of magic. I am curious. This person made it sound, they commented back, and they made it sound like the idea of a Facebook group had never come up, when in fact if you go through like 5 or 6 of their different posts, it is written by them in like 5 or 6 of their posts that they will make a Facebook group and such, and you're sitting there like, what? What? But it could also be that several different people moderate this page. Maybe that person does not know of these posts. Oh well. So they invited me to come to a gathering of sorts at their store. I declined because I don't have means of transportation. Not to mention, I don't really want to go to a gathering with a bunch of people I don't know. Not because I have any type of social anxiety, entirely the opposite. I just don't want to be involved magically with people I don't know. Anybody that does anything magical should understand this. Um, but prior to or after all of this conversation and comments and posts and back and forth between me and this other person, I went through the page's Facebook for this business and noticed that they made a listing of things that they do as a company. Um, one of them being a house cleansing. One of them being that they can show up at your place of business and or home to do some type of magical activity, which I thought was very odd. Which you paid them by the hour, no less. They do blessings, they do ceremonies of sorts. Apparently this person claims to be a priest or priestess of some kind, which I've never ever really known a priest or priestess to just come right out and say, hey, I'm over here, come and say hi. I've never really known one to do that. Usually they tend to be a little bit more secretive about said things because we live in a Christian society where witchcraft is still belittled to this day, regardless of the idea of freedom of religion or freedom of thought. Everyone has their back and forth notions that all magic is evil, and it's because of TV shows like Salem which bring that thought to mind. But one of the things that this business posed as an option on their page, which you could pay money for, was the idea that you could pay this person to perform a spell of your choosing, given that it does not defy free will, and they will do it for you without knowing any background, without knowing the people personally, without knowing anything other than you want X done and you are willing to pay for it. To me, that sounds like the object of a horror movie. And this is real life. I can send you the link to it if you are so curious. What? Why? That should be one of those things. If you are honestly willing to sell that as a product, if you are honestly willing to use magic in any way, shape, or form towards making a profit, that in my opinion, if I ran a store of such, where I sold apothecary items, where I sold tapestries, fairies, dragon figurines, and whatnot, if I ran a store of such, and if I felt that I had the gall to present that as an option to my customers, all of those ideas would be in a back room behind closed doors where I would wait for the specific type of customer to walk in my door that says, hey, I just need somebody to talk to, I'd like some incense to calm down, blah blah blah, and that's where I would present them with, hey, why don't I bring you, over here and we'll talk, and you have this other option where I can cast a healing spell or blah blah blah. That would never, ever in the concept of my owning a shop like that be an object that I would post on a public display. This is what I can do. Look at what I can do. And it doesn't make any sense at all to me. Why? Now, you go to, let's say, a Catholic church, and let's say you have a child, an unruly child in your household, and you are one of those God-fearing individuals where, you don't believe in modern-day medicine, you believe in the Holy Spirit, and the Holy Spirit conquers everything, and you would like this priest, this minister, to come to your home to bless the child. Now, that is also a thing that is done modern day. You can do this. You can go to a church and you can say, Minister, I've been a loyal patron of your humble house for many years. You know me, blah, blah, blah. I would love you to come to my home, have dinner, and meet my children because my child is doing blah, 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 whatever. That is actually a thing you can do. Now, if it were presented on the flip side of the coin in this apothecary style store to be an instance like that, where the Catholic Church does not tell you in a service out on public display on one of those marquee signs out on the curb, hey, your child sucks, we'll do something about it. They don't say that. There is never going to be a church sign out on the road that says, we will come and bless your child. No, they say, bring your child to us. We have youth ministries, blah, blah, blah. We have this, we have that. They will never say, we will come to you. But in this aspect, you flip the coin around and you put it on that apothecary, they are blasting out that they are willing to go out to see you because you are willing to pay for that. Now, if you look at the Catholic Church on their side, they're not asking for monetary retribution. So, would it be led to believe that a service like this should not cost money? Should not cost anything but free will and good faith? Am I wrong in thinking that? I don't know, just some back and forth random fucking banter that the show got me thinking about. It's Salem, for those of you that don't know, is the highest instance of what is known as the burning times, where people were ridiculed and executed for their belief in witchcraft. Now, millions of people across the world believe that this era and day is behind us. But that is incorrect. People to this day are being killed in other countries because of their belief in witchcraft. That is another reason why many people are known as closet witches. Now, I myself do go around when people ask me to, and I know how to bless a house with sage. I know how to cleanse a house of spirits. And I have been called at 2 in the morning. Some of you can testify to this. I have been called at 2 in the morning to say, hey Tim, do you know how to do this and can you come over? And I have done this. There have been several times I have done this. But I don't go around blasting to everybody, hey, this is what I can do. And by no means do I ever charge for said service. It is just something that I do. So, I don't understand. As a person that rants, as a person that's sweating his ass off on the porch in 95-degree weather, as a person that has some basis of common sense, I don't understand. I don't understand this line of thinking that services to that extent should cost money. I don't understand how lost my fucking train of thought. I don't understand. I am sweating my balls off out here. So, before I lose my mind any more than I already have, I'm going to go inside, sit in the AC for about 3 hours, cool down, drink some more sweet tea, hopefully stay out of the bathroom because I had macaroni and cheese earlier. That's probably not a good idea. and try to get my mind off of that goddamn TV show. Probably watch some Star Trek or something. Um, and I don't know. Fucking random thoughts. That's why this is random rant of the day, because I'm fucking random right now. Anyway, it's a billion degrees. As I've said this, I'm out.